Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Let's kick off a pick 4 at Belmont Park on Saturday. Race number 8 is the Grade 2 Beldame, an important prep for the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Before we get to the analysis and the likely single on many folks' pick 4 tickets, remember the Clocker reports from DRF available throughout the Belmont Fall Championship meeting. They are accessed every racing day at drf.com/Clocker. Mike Welsh and his expert team give you a perfect complement to your DRF past performances. Clocker reports, especially valuable with first-time starters, long layoff horses, European imports. Let's take a look at the field for the Grade 2 Beldame. Midnight Bizou's your 2 to 5 morning line favorite. A lot of folks are going to single her. And Mike, she's simply been dominant in the division all year.
Yeah, 6 for 6 already this year. 3-time Grade 1 winner already this year. A big win last time over the 9 furlongs at Saratoga, where she just got to a late with a really good trip and ride. She just almost towers over this field, man.
Let's throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector. It's your rare gray bar scenario. In Timeform US parlance, that means no speed. We could be walking at a glacial pace up front. Should that concern you if you're a Midnight Bizou backer?
No, she's a very tactical horse. She can sit any kind of a trip in a race. Actually, the lack of speed probably helps her more than it helps anybody else in the race.
Let's look at Midnight Bizou's most recent race, the Personal Ensign. A lot of folks were dubious as to whether she could beat a late at 1 1/8. She had already done so a couple of times at shorter distances. A late got the jump on Midnight Bizou turning into the stretch. Midnight Bizou outside, a late inside. Great stretch run from 2 exceptional mares. Midnight Bizou gets there in just a nice performance. She only won by a nose. I think it was her best race ever.
I do too. It was a perfectly timed ride from Mike Smith, who basically did everything right in that race, and he just got too late at the end. It was, way back to everybody else in that field. She ran a giant race last time.
We're expecting the 2 Spring in the Wind at a big price to get to the front. Whether she's good enough, even with a no-speed situation, is a different story. She has only routed twice in her career. The results have not been very good. She's an okay sprinter. I'm not sure if this distance and class level is what she needs right now.
Yeah, she's not good enough to get a piece of it.
Another Broad is the number 3. She came out of that Delaware handicap that was won by a late. That's been a very live race. 3 next out winners. We saw what a late did in the Personal Ensign. She was just no match that day. My main issue with her is her best buyer's an 82. And that's kind of like the race she runs per usual. She's going to have to do a lot better on Saturday.
Yeah, it's funny because distance is no problem for her, and obviously she's kept some pretty good company, but she's just not very good, Dan.
Might want to upgrade Crimson Frost slightly if it rains. This horse was claimed by Michelle Nevin for 62.5 out of a turf race 4 starts back. Became a stakes winner at Monmouth, splashing home last time out in the bodacious Tatas Stakes. Here she is on the outside in the 2 path. She's going to eventually wear down the leader at 14-1, but only with a best buyer of 77.
It's a little bit of an upset for her here. This was a nice performance, to become a stakes winner for sure. Listen, she's been around New York for a long time. She's always been sort of that optional claiming allowance kind of horse. She is not a stakes horse. There's not a race on her card. She's run 25 times. That puts her close to the top horses in here.
A lot of folks forget that Vexatious was good enough to finish 4th in the Kentucky Oaks as a 3-year-old filly behind Abel Tasman. Neil Drysdale, when he had her, made her a turf horse, made her a distance horse. Jack Sisterson found a nice spot last time out in the Summer Colony to see if this mare can still step on the dirt. And for a second, it looked like she was going to steal away over Blue Prize, who we know is kind of a talented Grade 2, lower echelon Grade 1 type. Vexatious stays on real gamely. Blue Prize's class just prevails, not much behind either one of these two.
Yeah, this was a good performance from Vexatious, though. She ran well in this race. And as you say, she had been a good dirt horse early on, so it was no surprise that she switched back to the main track and handled it just fine. If she runs that race back, is she going to beat Midnight Bizou? No, she's not. But she's a pretty good horse, and she's also pretty tactical. She got a great trip in that race. She could get another one in here.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's forward in here, very forward. I would actually try to take this race to Midnight Bizou and use her stamina to her advantage. Wildcat might be lurking in the weeds for trainer Chad Brown, won the Beldame last year, although it wasn't really a strong edition of the Beldame. No match for Midnight Bizou last time out in the Personal Ensign. Wildcat's an honest horse. I'm just not sure if her best is near Midnight Bizou's best.
Yeah, so far it's not. She did win this race last year, but she wasn't facing Midnight Bizou. I would just say that, her 2 starts this year may not look that great, but I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for the Shoe V off the layoff. In the Personal Ensign, she was never going to get near the 1-2 finishers, but she was on a dead rail.
That's right.
The entire way in there. I mean, he never got off the inside with her. It's not where you want it to be. She's better than her last 2 races make her look.
And Chad might have her ready to rumble in her 3rd start back. Let's take a look at our top pick for the Beldame, Midnight Bijou. It looks very, very tough to beat, and I'm not brave enough to try to beat her, but I'm going to try to get Vexatious maybe into the number. I went 1-5.
I look at it the same way. I went 1-5. I'll have no money in against this horse, though.
Grade 2 Beldame kicks off a pick 4. Lots of folks signaling Midnight Bijou. If she wins here, she goes 7 for 7, and she probably goes into the Breeders' Cup Distaff as the favorite. Approximate post time for the Beldame, 4:43 Eastern. Good luck.